Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon to stay updated.
Listen to me. I didn't come this far to stop. I didn't crawl through storms, fight through nights with no sleep, and bleed for my dream just to quit when it's hard. Not be stopped. Pain, I felt it. I've carried it. But I also know it's temporary. Pain is a visitor. It shows up, tries to break you, and then it leaves. But quitting takes up permanent residence in your soul. That's why I push through. I'd rather collapse at the finish line than sit on the sidelines wondering what if. Pain fades, regret does not. And if the choice is between short-term hurt and a lifetime of I could've, I'm taking the hurt every single time. I don't wait for motivation. I don't need perfect conditions. My grind outruns my excuses every single day. While you're talking yourself out of it, I'm already halfway done. I don't negotiate with weakness. I bury it under work. If I skip today, I make weakness stronger. If I show up today, I make weakness irrelevant. And I refuse to let excuses set the pace for my life. Obstacles, they don't scare me. I don't care if the road is blocked. I'll climb the wall, I'll break the wall, I'll build a new road. Life's not a straight shot. It's turns, detours, wrong exits, and roadblocks. But a detour is not a dead end. Every obstacle is just another way for me to prove I'm willing to go the long way if that's what it takes. I adapt, I adjust, but I keep moving forward. Pressure, I love pressure. Diamonds don't form without it, and neither do champions. The harder life presses, the harder I push back. Pressure doesn't crush me. It creates me. It sharpens my focus, forces me to perform, and strips away the nonsense until all that's left is me and the goal. I don't pray for less pressure. I pray for more strength, because the more weight I can carry, the further I can go. And don't think your doubt can slow me down. Your disbelief can't compete with my hunger. You might not see it, but I do. You might not believe it, but I know it's mine. My dream wasn't given to you. It was given to me. So I don't waste time trying to make you understand. I put my head down, I work, and I let the results speak when it's done. My vision will always outweigh your doubt. I'm not here for almost. I'm not here for almost. I'm not here for a good effort. I'm here to finish. I play until I win. It's not over until the victory is in my hands. If it takes one round or 100, if I'm crawling or sprinting, I'm staying in the fight. Setbacks are just more rounds to win. Temporary losses aren't final. I'll keep showing up until the scoreboard says what I already know, that I came here to win, and I will not leave without it. You can doubt me, you can block me, you can press me, you can try to break me. But there's one thing you'll never do. You will never stop me. Listen to me. I didn't come this far to stop. I didn't crawl through storms, fight through nights with no sleep, and bleed for my dream just to quit when it's hard. I will not be stopped. Pain! I felt it. I've carried it. But I also know it's temporary. Pain is a visitor. It shows up, tries to break you, and then it leaves. But quitting takes up permanent residence in your soul. That's why I push through. I'd rather collapse at the finish line than sit on the sidelines, wondering what if. I don't wait for motivation. I don't need the perfect conditions. My grind outruns my excuses every single day. While you're talking yourself out of it, I'm already halfway done. And those obstacles, they don't scare me. I don't care if the road is blocked. I'll climb the wall, I'll break the wall, I'll build a new road. I adapt, I adjust, but I keep going. Because my vision weighs more than your doubt. Your disbelief, that's fuel. Every time you say you can't, I hear a watch me. Pressure? I love pressure. Diamonds don't form without it, neither do champions. Life can squeeze me, hit me, break me down. But every time it does, I come back sharper, stronger, and hungrier. And here's the truth. I'm not just in the game to play. I'm in the game to win. I'll fall down 7 times, I get up 8. I'll lose a round, but I'll win the fight, 'cause I will not be stopped. You can doubt me, you can fight me, you can try to break me, but you will never see me quit. If you want, I can also give this speech a short, powerful description so it hits even harder in promotion. Would you like me to do that next? Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. You've got to understand something. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the price. It's the toll you pay for crossing the bridge to greatness. People run from pain like it's a permanent curse, but the truth is, it's only passing through. It's not here to stay. It's not here to live with you forever. Pain is a visitor. It comes, it knocks, it tests you, it pushes you, and then it leaves. But quitting is not a visitor. Quitting moves in. Quitting unpacks its bags, sits down in your mind, and reminds you every single day that you walked away from something you could have finished, that you had the chance to push through, but you didn't. Quitting will replay that moment for you for the rest of your life. You'll be brushing your teeth one day, and out of nowhere, you'll remember that one time you said, "I can't take it anymore," and it will burn. That's why I fight through the hurt. I've been tired, I've been sore, I've been broke, I've been doubted, I've been betrayed. I've had nights where my chest felt like it couldn't take another breath, where my legs felt like concrete, where my mind screamed at me to stop. And I kept going. Why? Because I know how this works. The pain I feel in that moment is real, but it's not eternal. It fades. The soreness fades. The exhaustion fades. The tears dry up. The storm passes. But if I quit, if I walk away, that moment becomes permanent. That becomes the thing I carry. You can't let a temporary feeling make your permanent decision. You can't let the fire in your muscles, the pounding in your chest, the knot in your stomach make you throw away the thing you said you wanted more than anything. That's what separates those who win from those who wish. Winners know the difference between a bruise and a burial. Just because it hurts doesn't mean you're done. Just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean you can't keep going. Most people think they're protecting themselves when they quit. They think they're being realistic or saving themselves from unnecessary suffering. But in reality, they're just trading short-term relief for long-term pain. Because when the moment passes and you realize you could have gone one more round, taken one more step, made one more call, stayed in the fight one more minute, that regret doesn't leave. I've learned that pain isn't always there to stop you. Sometimes pain is there to see how bad you really want it. Pain is the doorman to the life you say you want. It's the last wall between you and the breakthrough. And most people never get past it because the moment they feel it, they back off. They tell themselves, "Or not today, or not worth it, or I'll try again later." But that later never comes because the next time they feel that same discomfort, they'll run again. Quitting is a habit. It trains your body and mind to fold every time the pressure rises. You have to flip the script. When you feel pain, you gotta rewire your mind to recognize it as a signal that you're close. Pain is proof you're stretching beyond your comfort zone. It's proof you're in the right fight. Champions don't flinch when pain shows up. They lean into it because they know it's temporary. And on the other side is everything they've been chasing. I've been in situations where my body wanted to collapse, where my mind was screaming a quit so loud it drowned out every other thought. But I learned to answer back. I learned to tell myself, "You can break me later, but right now I'm finishing this." I learned to put my head down and push, knowing that in a week, a month, a year, I won't remember the exact sting of that moment, but I will remember if I quit. I will remember if I gave up on myself, and that memory will cut deeper than any cramp, any injury, any setback ever could. So I've made a decision. When the choice is between short-term pain and long-term regret, I choose pain every single time because pain teaches, pain strengthens, pain passes. Regret rots, and I refuse to live with that kind of poison in my system. If you want, I can also expand each of the other 5 points to the same powerful depth, so you have a full series that's consistent in tone. That would make the whole speech unstoppable. Would you like me to do that? My grind outruns my excuses. Everybody has a reason why they can't do it. Everybody has a story. Too tired, too broke, too old, too young, too much going on, not enough time. The list is endless, and the thing about excuses, it sounds good when you're the one telling them. They make sense in your head. They give you a little comfort while you're sitting still. But excuses don't get results. Excuses don't move the needle. Excuses don't change lives. Work does. That's why I don't negotiate with weakness. The moment you start giving your excuses a seat at the table, you're done. You can't out-talk them, you can't out-reason them. You've got to outrun them. You've got to bury them under so much action that they suffocate. There are mornings where my body says to stay in bed, but my grind says, "Ooh, we've got work to do." There are days when my head is heavy, my schedule is packed, and my energy is low, but my grind still wins. Because here's the truth. If you wait until you will feel like it, you'll never get it done. Feelings are liars. They change with the weather. They'll tell you to relax when you should be building. They'll tell you to slow down when you should be pressing harder. They'll tell you later until there's no more time left. I've trained myself to work even when my feelings scream me no. I've trained myself to see weakness and answer it with work. I don't give weakness a chance to grow roots. I don't let it linger. The moment it shows up, I move. I don't sit and argue with it. I don't try to bargain with it. I shut it down by doing the thing it's trying to keep me from doing. Most people lose because they think the fight is in the big moments. The championship game, the presentation, the deal, the launch. But the fight is in the small moments. The fight is in those silent battles at 5 a.m. when nobody's watching. The fight is in the decision between hitting snooze and hitting the ground running. The fight is in choosing to make that call when you're mentally drained. It's in doing one more rep when your body says you're done. Every time I win those moments, I bury an excuse 6 feet deeper. See, excuses multiply when you give them oxygen. Skip one workout and watch how fast the second skip comes. Miss one day of pushing forward on your dream and watch how quickly Onditis becomes a someday. That's why my grind has to be faster than my reasons to stop. I'm not just moving to hit goals. I'm moving to stay ahead of the voice in my head that wants me to slow down. You want to know the real reason some people succeed while others never break through? It's not talent. It's not connections. It's not luck. It's that the successful ones have trained themselves to show up regardless. They built a habit of doing the work whether they're tired, busy, sad, frustrated, or uninspired. They made it non-negotiable. And when something is non-negotiable, you don't waste energy debating it. You just do it. I've been in situations where every excuse in the book would have made sense. Times where people told me, man, take a break and slow down. You've earned some rest. And maybe I had. But I wasn't trying to earn rest. I was trying to earn results. And results don't care about how reasonable your excuses sound. Results only care about whether or not you did the work. I grind because I know weakness is always looking for an opening. It's always waiting for a crack in your discipline. A moment where you're tired enough, distracted enough, frustrated enough to let it in. But once it's in, it starts talking. It tells you to skip today because you'll do twice as much tomorrow. It tells you that you deserve a pass because you've been working so hard. But tomorrow isn't guaranteed, and discipline doesn't carry over. If you let weakness win today, you've got to start from scratch tomorrow. That's why my grind has to be relentless. It's not about being the fastest or the strongest. It's about being the one who doesn't stop. The one who keeps moving even when it's not convenient, even when it's not comfortable, even when there's no one clapping for them. The one who understands that the work itself is the reward, because the work is what keeps you sharp, keeps you ready, keeps you dangerous. I don't wait for the perfect time. I make the time. I don't hope for the perfect move. I move regardless of my mood. And every time I choose the grind over the excuse, I prove to myself that I'm in control. Not my weakness, not my feelings, not my circumstances. If you want, I can jump straight into obstacles or just detours, not dead ends next, and give it the same unstoppable energy. So this builds into a full powerhouse series. Obstacles are just detours, not dead ends. The difference between people who make it and people who give up isn't that the winners had an easy road. Nobody with a big dream gets a smooth path. The difference is how they see the obstacles. Some people see a wall and say, that's the end. I see a wall and say, all right, where's the ladder? I don't stop because something got in my way. I adapt, I adjust, but I keep moving forward. Life is not a straight line. It's not a clear highway from where you are to where you want to be. It's back roads, construction zones, wrong turns, and roadblocks you didn't see coming. And when they hit hard. That's where most people check out. They think a delay is a denial. They think a closed door means the house is off limits. But a closed door just means you need another way in. Obstacles are not proof that you can't do it. They're proof that it's worth doing. If it were easy, if it were wide open, if it didn't require problem solving and persistence, everybody would have it. The fact that it's hard is the reason it's valuable. The fact that it's blocked is the reason it's yours if you refuse to quit. I've had moments where everything in me wanted to believe it was over. I've hit walls so high, I couldn't see the top, so thick I couldn't see a way through. And in those moments, the only thing that kept me moving was the decision I made long before I got there. I will not stop moving forward. I don't have to move fast. I don't have to have the perfect plan. But I have to move. Some people wait for the obstacle to disappear before they continue. That's a mistake. Obstacles don't just disappear. You either go through them, around them, over them, or you find them entirely. Waiting for the perfect moment is just another way of quitting in slow motion. You've got to move while you figure it out. When I hit a problem, I ask myself, what's the next move I can make? Not the one I wish I could make. Not the perfect move, the next move. That's how you keep momentum. You adapt to the terrain you're on, not the one you thought you'd be on. You adjust your pace, your strategy, your angle, but you don't stop. Think about water. Water doesn't stop because there's a rock in the way. It flows around it. It wears it down over time. It changes its shape, but it never changes its mission. To keep moving. That's how you've got to be. If life throws a rock in your way, flow around it. If it throws a mountain in your way, climb it. If it puts you in a maze, turn left, turn right, back up, try again. But keep going till you're out. I've seen people with incredible potential fold at the first obstacle. They thought they were unlucky. They thought they weren't cut out for it, but it wasn't bad luck. It was just the test. The obstacle is the filter that separates the dreamers from the doers. You don't prove yourself when everything goes right. You prove yourself when everything goes wrong, and you keep going anyway. Sometimes the detour you're forced to take teaches you something the straight road never could. That obstacle that slowed you down might actually be the thing that gave you the skill, the connection, or the mindset you needed to succeed later. But you only find that out if you stick around long enough to see the payoff. When I face a setback, I remind myself, this is a part of the process. This isn't the end. I don't let myself think in terms of I failed. I think in terms of I'm not there yet. That word, yet, is powerful. Yet it means the story's not finished. Yet it means you still have moves to make. Yet it means you're still in the fight. The path is rarely straight. Most of the time, you'll take turns you didn't plan for, hit delays you didn't expect, and face challenges you didn't sign up for. But those turns, those delays, those challenges, they don't mean you're lost. They mean you're still on the road. And as long as you're still moving, you're still in the game. I can roll right into pressure builds diamonds. And I'm the proof next. So we keep this momentum building point by point. Want me to start that one? Pressure builds diamonds, and I'm the proof pressure doesn't scare me. Pressure excites me. When life turns up the heat, when the deadlines are crushing, when the stakes are high, and there's no room for error, that's when I lock in. That's when I sharpen my focus and push back twice as hard. Some people fold under pressure. They panic. They crumble. They look for a way out. But I've trained myself to see pressure as a sign I'm in the right place. Pressure means it matters. Pressure means the outcome is worth fighting for. You can't get diamonds without pressure. You can't take a lump of coal and turn it into something priceless without putting it through an extreme process. It has to endure heat and weight most things couldn't survive. That's what separates it from everything else. And it's the same with people. Pressure doesn't just test you, it transforms you. If you survive it, if you lean into it, you come out stronger, sharper, more valuable. The problem is, most people run from it. They think pressure is a punishment instead of an opportunity. The truth is, pressure is the privilege of those who are trusted with big responsibility. Nobody puts pressure on something worthless. Nobody pushes you to your limit if they don't think you can handle it. The fact that life keeps pressing on me is proof I've got something worth protecting, worth proving, worth building. I've been in situations where every second counted, where the margin for error was zero, where the only options were to execute or lose everything. And in those moments, there's no time for doubt. There's no space for I don't feel ready. Pressure forces you to perform. It forces you to strip away distractions, lock in on the task, and deliver. And every time you rise under that kind of weight, you add another layer of strength to yourself that you didn't have before. Pressure will reveal who you are. It will show you your flaws, your weak points, the cracks in your preparation. That's not a bad thing. That's the gift. It's better to find out where you're weak under pressure so you can fix it than to walk around thinking you're ready when you're not. I welcome that exposure because I'd rather know the truth than live in comfortable lies. When life presses me, I don't just try to survive it. I press back. The harder it pushes, the harder I push. The heavier the weight, the more I dig my heels in and refuse to be moved. That's how you build resilience. That's how you build a mind and body that don't break just because the situation got intense. You ever notice how the best athletes, the best leaders, the best performers are the ones who seem to get better under pressure? That's not magic. That's training. That's years of putting themselves in hard situations on purpose. So when the moment comes, they're not just ready. They're hungry for it. That's me. I put myself in pressure situations because I know they shape me into someone who's dangerous when it counts. Pressure is uncomfortable, but it's temporary. The growth it gives you is permanent. Every time you push through a high-stress moment, you expand your capacity. You stretch the limits of what you thought you could handle. And once you've been there, once you've stood in the fire and refused to step out, regular challenges feel light. That's how you gain the confidence to take on bigger and bigger goals. Because you know you've been tested and you've held the line. I don't ask for less pressure. I ask for more strength. I don't pray for smaller problems. I pray for the ability to react to any size challenge. Because I know if I can stand under more weight than the next person, I'm going to outlast them, outwork them, and outshine them. I can start on my vision outweighs your doubt next. So the momentum builds straight into the final points. You want me to roll right into it? My vision outweighs your doubt. Your doubt is heavy, but my vision is heavier. Your disbelief might be loud, but my hunger is louder. I don't need you to believe in me. I don't need you to see what I see. I'm not building my dream on your approval. I'm building it on my conviction. I've learned that if you want to do anything worth talking about, people will doubt you. It's part of the process. Some will doubt because they can't see the path you see. Some will doubt because they've already given up on their own dreams and they can't imagine someone else pushing through. And some will doubt because they're afraid you'll prove them wrong. That's fine. Let them. Your disbelief is just fuel for me. When I close my eyes, I can see where I'm going. I can feel it like it's already mine. That's the difference between me and the person who doubts. They can only see what's in front of them, but I can see what's ahead. My vision is my anchor. It keeps me steady when everything around me is shaky. Doubt will try to make you question yourself. It will whisper that you're not good enough, that you're wasting your time, that you're aiming too high. But here's the thing, hunger drowns out doubt. When you're truly hungry for something, you don't hear impossible. You hear try harder. You don't hear you can't. You hear, ooh, it's me. I've had people laugh when I share my goals. I've had people tell me that's not realistic. I've had people look at me like I was crazy for even trying. And every single time I use that as a reminder, they're not supposed to understand. My dream was given to me, not them. My vision was placed in my heart for a reason. And if they could see it as clearly as I can, it wouldn't be mine, it would be theirs. You can't carry someone else's doubt and expect to run fast. That's dead weight. And I've decided I'm not carrying it. I'm running light. The only weight I carry is the weight of my own responsibility to make my vision real. I'm not here to prove doubters wrong. I'm here to prove myself right. When you're locked in on your vision, the world's noise fades. You stop worrying about who claps and who doesn't. You stop wasting time trying to convince people who have already made up their minds. You put your head down, you work, and you let the results speak. Some people are waiting for belief before they act. That's a trap. If you wait for everybody to believe in you, you'll wait forever. You have to move on your vision even when you're the only one who can see it. Especially then. Because every step you take in the dark builds a track record you can't fake. And one day, the same people who doubted you will point to you as proof it can be done. My hunger doesn't just come from wanting success. It comes from needing it. It comes from knowing what's at stake if I don't follow through. It comes from remembering where I started, what I fought through, and how far I still have to go. That kind of hunger makes you dangerous. It makes you keep going long after everyone else has gone home. Doubt is cheap. Anybody can hand it out. It costs nothing to criticize, nothing to say you can't, nothing to point out why it might fail. But vision? Vision costs everything. It costs time, energy, sacrifice, patience, and an unshakable will to keep moving forward when nothing around you says you should. That's why not everybody has it. You can doubt me all you want. You can talk about the odds, the statistics, the chances. But I'm not betting on the numbers. I'm betting on me. And I know what happens when I'm hungry enough, focused enough, relentless enough. I know that if I keep showing up, keep putting in the work, keep moving toward what I see in my mind, eventually I'll be standing in it in real life. If you want, I can finish series without play until I win, so you have all 6 points fully expanded and ready. That will make the whole I will not be stopped speech complete and unstoppable. I play until I win. I'm not in this for participation. I'm not in this to almost get there. I'm not in this to talk about how close I came. I play until I win, until the job is done, until the goal is achieved, until the finish line isn't just in sight, but under my feet with the victory in my hands. Too many people quit at 90%. They get tired, they get distracted, they feel the weight of the grind and decide that if good enough is enough, but if good enough doesn't change your life. Almost doesn't put the trophy in your hands. Almost doesn't pay the price of all those late nights and early mornings. Almost doesn't silence the voice in your head that says, you can't do it. Only winning does that. I don't count how many tries it takes. I don't care how long it takes. If it's round 1 or round 100, if I'm crawling, walking, or sprinting, I stay in the fight. Because if I keep showing up, the only way I lose is if I quit. And quitting is not in my DNA. Every setback is just another round. Every delay is just another lap. I don't confuse temporary losses with final defeats. I've been knocked down before, but here's the thing. The scoreboard doesn't matter until the game is over. You can be losing the whole time and still win if you refuse to stop until the final whistle. I treat every challenge like a match I refuse to walk away from. I'll adjust my strategy. I'll change my approach. I'll regroup if I have to, but I don't forfeit. You can outscore me early. You can put me behind. You can make it look like I've got no chance, but I'll keep coming. I'll keep applying pressure. I'll keep working the problem until I break through. Most people think winning is about talent. It's not. It's about endurance. It's about who can keep going the longest without breaking. Because every obstacle, every competitor, every setback has a breaking point. And if you're the one who won't break, who won't stop, who won't walk away, eventually you outlast everything in your way. I've had moments where I was dead last, moments where the gap between where I was and where I needed to be felt impossible to close, but I didn't walk away. I didn't walk away. I didn't let the score dictate my will. I've seen too many comebacks to believe it's over before it's over. I've seen the person with the lead choke because they thought they had it in the bag. And I've seen the underdog take it all because they kept swinging until the last second. The difference between people who talk about what they almost did and people who actually did it is this. The second group stayed in the game until it finished. They didn't tap out when it got ugly. They didn't settle for a close enough. They didn't take the moral victory of trying hard. They took the real victory of finishing the job. When I set a goal, I'm not negotiating with it. I'm not saying, I'll give it a shot and see what happens. I'm saying, I'm in this until it's mine. If it takes a week, if it takes 10 years, fine. I'll keep showing up, keep pushing, keep finding ways to win. I'll crawl across the finish line if I have to, but I'll cross it. Playing until you win means you stop thinking in terms of how long would it take and start thinking in terms of whatever it takes. It means you remove the clock from the equation and focus only on the outcome. Because the second you put an expiration date on your dream, you've already given yourself permission to quit when it gets hard. I don't play for almost. I don't play for second place. I don't play to tell stories about how much effort I gave. I play for the win. And as long as there's breath in my body, as long as there's time on the clock, as long as I can take another step, throw another punch, make another move, I'm still in it. And if I'm still in it, I can still win.